Hey everyone, this is Michael again, and welcome to my review of last night's Survivor Series pay-per-view. And I thought last night's Survivor Series, I thought it was a good show. Thought it was very entertaining. Had a lot of matches that were awesome and good. Uh, really enjoyed the two Survivor Series elimination matches. But I'm gonna start with the matches that were on the kickoff show, the kickoff pre-show. There was 3 matches that were there. 2 of them I didn't get to see. The first one, it was Elias versus Matt Hardy. Shitty Elias. Elias beat Matt Hardy. Oh God. Moving on. Enzo Amore versus Kalisto for the Cruiserweight title. Enzo Amore beat Kalisto. Enzo still retains the Cruiserweight title. And then this match I did get to see. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Breezango, the 2 jobbers. And I thought this match, it was pretty entertaining. It was back and forth between Owens and Sami. I mean, when you look at it, you know, Owens and Sami deserve better. They shouldn't have a match on the kickoff show because I like this pairing of Owens and Sami. But Owens and Sami won the match with Owens hitting a pop-up powerbomb on Fandango. But it was a pretty entertaining match. It was a good match in my opinion. Then we're going to start with the regular matches. The show kicked off with The Shield. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns versus New Day. And what I liked about this pay-per-view is throughout the show, it'll say, it said, like which brand, picked up the win. But The Shield versus New Day. It was a good match. It was an entertaining match. I really liked it. Really enjoyed The Shield here in this match. You had back and forth between them all. Pretty much the Shield, the Shield dominating some parts of the match. But they got the win. The Shield got the win. They hit a triple power bomb on Kofi Kingston from the top rope. But that was it was awesome seeing that at the end of the match. But although it was a good match, I really enjoyed it. So it was very entertaining. And then next, it was the Women's Survivor Series elimination match. It was Team Raw. The members of Team Raw were Alicia Fox, who was the team captain, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Asuka, and Nia Jax versus Team Smackdown. Becky Lynch, Naomi, Carmella, Natalya, and Tamina. And Becky Lynch, of course, was team captain for SmackDown. And forgot to mention in the Shield New Day match, like after the match was over, it would show like Raw got one match won over SmackDown, and so it was pretty much that through the night. Like they would count like which brand got a win, and it would be like 1 match won, 2 matches won. So that was it was pretty cool to see. But this Women's Survivor Series elimination match, it was pretty entertaining. It was pretty good. Another good match. It was shocking to see Bayley eliminate Becky from the match. Becky was the first one to be eliminated by Bayley. And the final points of the match, it was down to Asuka, Natalya, and Tamina. And pretty much they were dominating over Asuka. And at the end of the match, Asuka was the sole survivor. she applied the Asuka lock on Natalya, and so that was pretty cool. Really good that Asuka came out as the sole survivor for the Women's Survivor Series elimination match. Pretty cool, pretty awesome. Really, really like Asuka. I've enjoyed her ever since her time in NXT. Becoming the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. So it was a good Women's Survivor Series elimination match. And this brought up Raw to 2 wins over SmackDown. Then the next was Baron Corbin versus The Miz. I thought this was an awesome match. Was it great? No, but it was pretty much The Miz was pretty much a babyface during this match because people like Miz more than Baron Corbin. But he had the Miz Taraj, Curse and Bo out there ringside. Maurice was in the crowd in the front. But this was a pretty good match. It was back and forth between Corbin and The Miz. You had one point, Miz Taraj pretty much was out there. Baron Corbin just knocked out Curtis Axel, and then he threw Bo into the ring the hard way, and he hit the end of days to Bo Dallas, and pretty much Corbin won the match with the end of days on Miz to score the win. After the match, he gets on the mic and says, The Miz says, when his hand goes up, when my hand goes up, your mouth goes shut, and Corbin says, he shut, Miz up. So this brought SmackDown to having match one. But overall, it was a good match, in my opinion. It wasn't great or perfect by any means. So. Then you had the Usos versus Cesaro and Sheamus. And this was another good match. It was back and forth between the Usos and Cesaro and Sheamus. And one thing I got to mention is Sheamus. What the hell was wrong with Sheamus's hair? It looked like nails, like long nails were in his hair, or his hair looked like it was dipped. It was dipped in paint. So I just got to mention that though. If you saw the match, you know what I'm talking about. But I gotta say, the Usos, ever since they turned heel, they've been in awesome matches during pay-per-views, and they're keeping their wins at pay-per-views, really good. They got the win, the Usos, with Jey Uso hitting a top rope splash on Sheamus to score the win. And so that brought SmackDown to tie it 2-2. So all in all, it was a good match. Really liked it. Really enjoyed it. And the next was Charlotte versus Alexa. Another pretty entertaining match that I really enjoyed. You had at one point in the match where Charlotte was on the apron and Alexa just, took her off the apron by her arm, and Charlotte's arm pretty much was hurt. Had one point where Charlotte was going to do the moonsault on Alexa, and Alexa moved out of the way, and Charlotte ended up missing. But in the end, Charlotte got the win applying the figure 8 on Alexa to score the win. So, but it was an entertaining women's match between Charlotte and Alexa. Really enjoyed it. And the next, it was Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. This was a dream match that we never thought we would see. But I have to say, this was the best match of the night, in my opinion. I started off with Styles getting his ass kicked by Lesnar. Lesnar hitting suplexes on Styles, but towards almost like the middle of the match, or like 10 minutes, 15 minutes into the match, Styles just started, just trying to take out Lesnar, and pretty much, went from there. Lesnar was still, trying to dominate Styles by hitting suplexes. Styles did a phenomenal forearm to Lesnar to hopefully try to win the match, but Lesnar ended up kicking out of it. And I have to say, I like this match because if we saw Lesnar versus Jinder Mahal, Lesnar would have won the match in maybe 10 minutes, or 5 minutes or something like that. He would have destroyed Jinder Mahal. But thankfully, it changed and we got this, and we got Lesnar and Styles. But in the end, Brock Lesnar got the win with the F5 on Styles. I forgot to say, at one point in the match, Styles locked in the calf crusher to Lesnar, thinking that Lesnar was going to tap out. And the crowd was just really like, oh, this is going to be a shock if Lesnar taps out to, Styles. But it was a awesome match. It was the best match of the night, in my opinion. Just a dream match that, like I said, a dream match that we thought we would never have seen. So that match went on for a pretty good amount of time. And then we got to the main event, which was the men's Survivor Series elimination match, Team Raw and Team Smackdown. But the Charlotte and Alexa match, it brought SmackDown to 3, and Brock Lesnar winning. It brought Raw to tying it up with SmackDown again. And this main event, the men's Survivor Series elimination match, it was good. Really liked it. For Team Raw, it was the team captain, who was Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H against Team SmackDown, who Shane McMahon was the team captain. Then it was Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cena. And this was a good elimination match. Seeing Kurt Angle and Triple H on the same team, them taking on Shane, was really awesome. We got to see Kurt Angle and John Cena go at it once again. It's been a while. It's been a long time since we've seen Angle and Cena in a match together, because they both put on great matches back in the day whenever they had a match together. You had Triple H, of course, taking on Bobby Roode and Shinsuke Nakamura, who he made stars, those two stars, from NXT, also with Finn Balor and Samoa Joe being on the same team as him. And he had Kurt Angle come in. He gave a German suplex to Bobby Roode. And then towards the end of the match, at one point in the match, he had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn come out. They were trying to take out Shane. And at the end of the match, it was Kurt Angle, Braun Strowman, and Triple H. Those three people for Team Raw taking on Shane, only Shane. And it got to the point where at the end of the match, Triple H ended up Pedigree and Kurt Angle eliminating him. And so it was just down to Strowman and Triple H and Shane. Both Braun Strowman and Triple H taking on Shane. And pretty much that's probably setting up for Kurt Angle and Triple H probably to have a match at WrestleMania. Although I heard from what I heard rumors now that Triple H might take on Strowman at WrestleMania. So we all know, what's going to happen. But we saw Triple H end up, Pedigree and Shane, his brother-in-law, Triple H's brother-in-law, and pretty much at the end, the sole survivors were Braun Strowman and Triple H, and then after that was over, Braun Strowman just, says, I forgot what he says to Triple H, but Triple H was in the corner, and Strowman was saying something to him, and it made like this kind of like freaked out, terrified look on Triple H's face. So, but in the end, it was a good match. It was a good Survivor Series elimination match. With Braun Strowman and Triple H being the sole survivors. One thing that they didn't show on TV, and it's been, circling around, was Triple H going to the back. Stephanie was out there, and search this up if you could find it though. But it's been going all over in like articles that wrestling news sites posted, where it showed Stephanie and Triple H walking to the back. They were on the stage, and then Triple H just runs right into the stage. The whole setup on stage. And it was funny though. It was really funny. That should have ended the show. Triple H running into the thing, and then fade to black. That would have been the ultimate funny thing for to end the show. So, but do search that up if you could find it, because it's so funny. You keep watching, it gets funny every single time. So, but yeah, the men's Survivor Series elimination match was really good, really entertaining, and it'll probably set up Angle and Triple H, or Triple H versus Strowman at WrestleMania. But we gotta see and find out what WWE is gonna do. Either they're gonna have Angle versus Triple H or Strowman versus Triple H. So, but yeah. So, anyways, that's it for my review of last night's Survivor Series pay-per-view. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all back here later tonight for my Raw review. Bye.